All right, all right, all right. What's up, folks? Let's get into it, man. I am highly pissed, man. Highly pissed. Man, this crap with Eddie Hearns and the mess, the damage this fool is doing and constantly doing to the sport of boxing. Salute to goddamn Turkey Alex Sheik, because you were right as hell on this one. You was right as hell on this one. You don't do none of that charity event boxing shit. If you want to do some old tune-ups and easy fight and clown show-ish, go over to Eddie Hearn. And that's exactly what Eddie Hearn has always been to the sport of boxing. Is a damn clown show fest. This dude done put on this old garbage, and Jaron Ennis runs to the goddamn front of the line to jump into the sweepstakes of being uh, 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 you know, televised with this bull crap. Like, homie, you ought to be ashamed of your sorry ass self, man. This ain't nothing to be proud of, man. This ain't even no proud moment. I don't give a damn if he called out goddamn Evander Holyfield. Man, you garbage for this, homie. Like, here you are, goddamn champion, taking this whole whack ass tune up crap, listening to a bozo like Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn ain't never produced a goddamn thing. What happened for Anthony Joshua? Anthony Joshua was fortunate and lucky as hell to do that. There ain't nothing special to what Eddie Hearn is doing. If fools paid attention, you listen, you look at every goddamn career this damn buffoon and damn ruined. You run your old goddamn silly Philly ass up over there to go jump to the sweepstakes, taking on this bull crap. Like, man, dude, you better start waking the hell up. You and your goddamn father. I don't know what the hell y'all presented to damn boxing. And thinking boxing fans gonna ride with this stupid ass shit. Now let me go into the dumb shit. When I first saw this, right before this fight come on, because I ain't even, like I said, I didn't even know they was fighting the goddamn today. And then let alone who Usman is. I've been planning to look this dude up when nobody know who the hell Usman is. Whatever, he can't even say this fool name. Nobody don't even know who the damn fool is. But they find this fool, you Issamis in the Lima. This fool fucking African named Lima. The hell you find that goddamn name? Toby? It's fool, Toby ass fool. And change his name to one of these people name. And you a straight up African fool. Straight out of Angola. You from Angola and change your Toby ass name to some goddamn Lima. This fool got 16 fights. Well, he went into this fight with 15 fights, one loss. But when you look at his goddamn record, he only been boxing since 2019. You look at the number of rounds that these fights he has been in it. This dude has been fighting 6 and 4 rounders, 2 8-rounders, and moving to a 10, 8. And he only has 3 12-rounders before going into this damn fight against a goddamn world champion. He's fighting these fools in these other goddamn countries, padding their goddamn record. There is no way this dude was built up to be goddamn in the ring with this dude. But Eddie Hearns will find you tomato cans. Here's this one fool he fought. This fool got 7 goddamn losses. Just looked like he just going here to get slapped around to pay for whatever shit he rented to stay in over in, where's this fool from? Nicaragua. Man, get the hell up out of here, man. These dudes is trash, and this the type of trash shit they present over here to this damn sport. Then he fights this dude. What is the other dudes he done been in here with? He suffered this loss against Aaron McKenna. Don't know who this fool. Man, this fool done lost to old Ricky Hatton looking ass dude. This fool out of Ireland. Ireland ain't been producing shit. Let's see who the Ireland dude fighting. He probably padding this shit too, fighting whack ass dudes. Look at the records of the dudes they've been boxing. And this is the shit you got to look at when you watch these. Sorry, let me see. This dude probably promoted by Eddie Hearn too. Who is his goddamn promoter? Trainer, boom, boom. He fighting in Los Angeles. Who is he trained by? Who putting on his goddamn fights? Eddie Hearn probably doing this shit. When you look at his goddamn record, he fighting the 1-1 debut, 4 fights. He fought a fool, 17 losses, only 11 fights. Fights and losses equal. This fool, and they moving him up, stepping him up. He going to a fight with a fool, and I don't even know how this mother effer right here even got a boxing goddamn license. This motherfucker done been in the ring, goddamn. Oh my God. What's the purpose of this stupid motherfucker right here? What is your fucking purpose in life, dude? This motherfucker done been in 189 fucking fights. And he's only won 12 of them. This motherfucker's been defeated 172 goddamn times. You gotta be shitting me. And this fool is a young fighter. Look at this shit. You gotta be a trash ass fucking promoter finding these type of dudes. There ought to be regulations in this sport that eliminate fools like this. This is why it's important that, I guess, with Turkey and Dana White forming this goddamn boxing league they having to avoid this kind of shit. Then he been in here with this fool. So this is a fool named Jordan Grana, man. You ever see them hyping that fool up? Turn the damn TV away. Pirate that shit. 45 losses. Man, what the hell is y'all functions? I guess he's just some fools just wanting to stay in shape and shit. And these fools trying to move people up. Get him the fuck up out of here. And so this dude is the one who beat this dude Ismas. So this how Ismas lost to. That's how I knew he was gonna be trash. The African in Portugal. Oh, that man, get the hell out of here. Portugal ain't got a goddamn fighter. It probably can't even name one legend that never came out of Portugal. Fuck out of here. This fool that went in here with this dude. This dude barely been starting to fight goddamn fights worth any goddamn round. Still don't got no goddamn experience. Still fighting people with damn 10 fights on their damn records. And then the minute they step up to a 10-round fight, he loses that shit. It look like he got smoked. 92, 98, 93, 98, 91 to 100. So he may have got, what is it, 90? How do you get that? 91? Shouldn't that have been 90? Maybe it was an even round or something. I don't know how they scored that. But come on, dude. This dude trash, homie. Trash. And then this is sad. This motherfucking name Sheik Deep Singh. Man, who the fuck you lose to an Indian damn dude? Are you fighting an Indian dude? This fool out of India done hung in the ring with this motherfucker. Man, get the hell up out of here. This fool been in the ring with Sink Deep. Man, get your, come on, homie. And then Eddie Hearn will find this shit for a goddamn dude who's a champion, who everybody's looking for, whether or not he can beat Terrence Crawford. And then Eddie Hearn pulled this shit out. And I was glad, I almost was questioning why Turkey had to disrespect the guy like that. But even Turkey saw this shit as some old bullshit flop. And then you mean this dude and took all this time to get this call to accept the Jaron Ennis fight, get himself geared up in training camp, wake up in the morning, run those goddamn miles. I don't know what kind of practice they was fucking doing. And then he get in the ring and he do this damn shit. Like, what the fuck are they producing in boxing? There's no way, no how in a world of sanctioned sports that a fighter at this level and a fighter at Jaron level should be in the ring to fucking together, homie. What are we doing? What are we allowing Eddie to do? I advocate for anybody to, if an Eddie Hearn production is taking place, to steal the shit. Don't waste your money on nothing. Then you get this old trash ass promoter talking about some Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. You don't get the fuck up out of here. Tyson Fury, big ass, is a shell of his goddamn self, ain't in shape, and you bringing up some goddamn Anthony Joshua shit, man. Get Eddie Hearn the fuck up out of here, dude. Go fucking do that shit they do in the UK. Pool games, what they call it, Snickers and darts. Man, get the fuck up out of here, dude. Presenting this garbage. And then Jaron Ennis taking this stupid ass shit. Man, you gotta be dumb as fuck, dude. All Jaron did is did what he's supposed to do with a guy when they put that in front of him. But that's what Jaron Ennis wanted. Let me take a break and say something, man. But I don't know how anybody, and that's why I don't be covering this boxing shit. I'm more into my politics. I'm enjoying football and eventually basketball, going to my kids' game. Like, man, fuck these stupid ass boxes, dude. Like, man, what? This nigga really went in there and got his ass whooped inside of a minute and a half. And I knew it was something wrong with this show. And I'm listening to these DAZN fools try to present this shit as some real damn fight. And I'm like, they doing a little bit too much of trying to sell this off as a good damn fight to whoever clicked the button to watch that shit. I'm like, they doing a hard sell on this shit because people are not buying into it. And if it's something being sold by Eddie Hearn, never buy that shit. This shit is junk. Eddie Hearn is the boxing version of a junk trader. That's what he is. He trades junk. This dumb motherfucker talking about Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Should nobody on this planet buy that shit? You don't buy nothing Eddie Hearn put on. That fool's a classic ass clown, dude. And Jaron Ennis, you better break away from this goddamn dude. You sorry as fuck for this goddamn fight, homie. You sorry as fuck. You should have looked and seen this dude been fighting all these. You should have looked at where this motherfucker from. This fool is an African with a last name named Lima. I don't see one African training this motherfucker. And then he go out here and he deliver this bullshit. And you supposed to be a champion. Turkey, cut both of these mother. Hey, that's why I don't be covering this boxing shit. That's why I do not cover this boxing shit. And I know a lot of people's actually covering this fight. I wasn't even thinking about this fight. And then I seen it was the only thing left. You know, college football was good. My son be fucking had me die. That nigga be tripping. That nigga, man, my son is comedy, bro. He be getting mad when they lose them games, boy. That nigga be throwing a fit. And his game is definitely getting better, but he got to stop getting mad and wanting to check out that shit. I'm telling him, man, good job. That nigga up in the game doing this shit. That nigga that took his jersey off, he ready to, oh, man, no, bro. That nigga had me dying, homie. But he going to be good. I see the potential in my little boy. I see the potential on him. I see that potential, my little boy. That nigga be getting mad. Oh man, that's my highlight of the day because this boxing shit is demoralizing as fuck, homie. That shit demoralizing as hell. I won't put nothing into these motherfuckers. These dudes is doo-doo, man. It's just classic boxing is all that's worth watching. It's only meant going back in the archives and watching classic boxing. Simple as that. And I wish they wouldn't have cheated. Yeah, CJ, man, that nigga, man, I was had to tell because they got their ass whooped today. But I was telling them, as long as it's time on that clock, you play your heart out. You just do what you're doing. That nigga was mad at this, get their ass busted. And then boxing sport. Let me get to this chat, man, because this motherfucking boxing shit is doo-doo, homie. And Eddie Hearn is one of them. Hopefully Dana White. This is the thing, and I don't like Dana White for shit. Dana White, for people who didn't follow me on this shit, this combat sports shit, everybody know Dana White are holding me. That's why I probably can never. It'd be a shocker I get into that damn UFC shit over there. Cause I'll make it known, I don't like you, Dana White. Fuck you. I'm gonna get in by one of them other fools that own the UFC. But I don't like Dana White. But I'm cheering for Dana White in them with this boxing shit. I'm definitely cheering for Dana White, and I hope Dana White create this barrier that keep all these weak motherfuckers out this sport that have been part of the reckoning of fucking this sport. Eddie Hearn behind that shit. Bob Arum ass behind that shit and his family. Fucking I can't even say what's the other dude? Not Frank Warren. Frank Warren didn't produce some cool heavyweights. He had the heavyweights. Not Frank Warren. Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, Bob Arum, and a little bit of Floyd and a little bit of fucking Al Haymon, but not really Al Haymon. Al Haymon and the motherfucking fighters is the problem. Al Haymon and them spoiling the fighters. And then the fact that Al Haymon is quiet, everybody can use him as a scapegoat to shit. I wish Al would have started speaking up, homie. Like, make it be known. Then you have Floyd coming in with his whole ass shit. He done created one of the biggest hoes in boxing coming with that whole shit. And that being Tank Davis. Tank Davis is one of the biggest hoes in the goddamn history of this damn boxer. If you lined up 5 hoes in the sport of boxing, Tank Davis would be right on that motherfucking mountain with a dress on. These motherfuckers is weak, man. God damn. And the boxing sparring says only dude Eddie has built, says from the ground up, that has won titles under Eddie Hearn banner, says Bam Rodriguez. And Bam Rodriguez just a talented kid. Did Eddie really build it? Oh, well, he said him from the ground up. I guess he started with him. But then you don't get Eddie really promoting Bam Rodriguez. Like, you don't hear nothing about Bam Rodriguez unless the nigga get his 1 fight a year. Like, man, fuck Eddie Hearn, man. All Eddie Hearn right now is the fact that Bam Rodriguez is a Mexican fighter, fighting out of America, has the country of Mexico, the people that follow him, that follow behind him, and the Mexican-American crowd. Eddie Hearn don't do shit for that dude. And at least, but use Bam to hold on to a champion. That's it. And Lisa Bell says, salute to myself in the chat. Salute Lisa Bells. She says, Boots never fought anyone spectacular. Says, to be honest, never. Man, that nigga is trash. Man, what the fuck is wrong with Boots? Like, this nigga took this stupid ass goddamn fight. And then the first punch that hit this fucking dude, he hurt. I mean, god damn. I hope Turkey say some shit to just shit on this shit. Dana White say something, and they talk about this is why we're so important. And then you get rid of these sorry ass sanctioning bodies that rank these type of motherfuckers. These sanctioning bodies ain't never watching none of these dudes that they have ranked fight. I can guarantee that shit. Get these fucking belts the fuck up out of here. Like, nobody care who got a belt. Nobody care what, you know who the real in this shit, and you know who ain't. You know who go run and chase after these belts, and that's it. When you, man, come on, man. This shit is, can't believe this motherfucking fight was that damn trash and that damn easy. Like I said, Boots wasn't even ready when they was calling this nigga to walk out. They didn't even have gloves on his hands. Like Scott says, 4 a.m. says, I'm on the north side of Philly. Says, riding around, says, like these haters don't want to kill me. This fool always with some rap lyric shit. And then Box Sparring says, McKenna actually decent red. Says he beat Barboza. Says Barboza got a gift decision. Says during the Golden Boy day. What is that? Debut. Why you put date? This nigga can't spell. Oh my god, that shit's called debut, man. D-E-B-U-T. That nigga said debut. Oh shit, man. I gotta play this video for your motherfucking ass. That nigga said a debut.
And it's so funny.
Man, you reading like you slow, cuz.
I can go twice as high.
Nah, it just show up different.
Take a look.
Y'all just went live before, it look different.
Reading rainbow.
What's going down?
Anywhere. Friends to know.
It's a lot of comments on here.
A reading rainbow.
Cuz can't read. Who can't read? Derek Harris. Who is that?
Take a look. It's in a book. A reading
Screenshot SS that shit for me, please. What do SS mean? Can somebody help me with that? I don't know what SS mean. Get off here. Get off here. I know I'm here. I'm here.
Oh man, I needed that laugh after fucking watching this trash ass fight. But no, the motherfucking word is debut, bro. He said debut. Lisa Bell's the Velocity Cuts. She in there saying peace. Sylvester to build a salute. He said, what up, Eric Parker to build a salute. Velocity Cuts says, nigga, stop crying. Says, at least he's staying active. Says, he's only 28. Says, and not sitting on his hands, unlike unlike other fighters, says on that janky ass promotional company. Man, the hell with that shit. Cause it was fights that Boots could have fucking took. Boots dancing around shit, avoiding motherfuckers and jumped to this division. Talked all that shit about Brian Norman Jr., avoided that fucking fight. Like, come on, man. He didn't give a fuck about him being active. He gonna be active all he want. He ain't gonna do nothing but fight somebody that don't mean shit. Like, he calling Charlo out. What the fuck you calling Charlo out? Charlo damaged goddamn goods. Nobody want to give a fuck about Charlo. Everybody calling out the goddamn Charlo brothers. Like, give a fuck, man. Charlo got his ass whooped. Ain't the same fighter. He's sitting on $20-30 million. He ain't trying to box. Like, these dudes crazy as shit, thinking that shit hyped up. Yeah, man, he gonna whoop Jamil Charlo. Jamel done been sitting his ass down, probably big as me now. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. Jaron Ennis calling these damn dudes out. And then he talking about fighting the winner of Lubin. And then even Virgil Ortiz, how the fuck you fighting Erickson fucking Lubin? Like, both of these sorry ass dudes. We ain't watched Virgil Ortiz fight no goddamn body in his damn career. Like, where's Virgil? Virgil with Oscar and shit. Like, all these dudes is weak, man. When do the next era of boxing start? Like, god damn, when do we get the next era? We ain't got no goddamn heavyweights. You watching all these little ass motherfuckers fight. Like, when do we get the next era of this shit? Like, god fucking damn, man. And then Dana White and Turkey need to hurry the hell up with whatever the hell they got brewing. Like, get that shit off the ground. All this Rhea season shit. Aaron Parker says, who did he fight? Says for the IBO belt. It was a belt for this shit. Hold on. A belt? See, that's the damn problem. They giving a belt every time you look up. These belts don't mean a goddamn thing. Hold on, let's go to this goddamn funky ass fight. Let me see. Wait, what you talking about a belt? Yeah, I don't see no damn belt. Yeah, it better not have been no belt for this shit. I mean, this nigga knocked him down twice in one damn round, and the fight only lasted, what they call it, a minute 50. That shit really lasted a minute and 30 seconds. Yeah, it ain't no belt in this shit. I don't know what. Wait, who got an IBO? Where you get the IBO from? Yeah, it better not have been no belt in this stupid ass damn pointless ass fight. And then Aaron Parker says, I'm talking about Lima. Lima had an IBO, man. Lima better not have had shit. That IBO better be some city that motherfucker live in. Be the name of his tribe. That's what IBO is. Name of his tribe from Africa. And then Haji says, P says, was just listening to H Money destroy Gerard. So remember last year, it says he was a boots. Man, I see H Money a long time. I'm going to watch H Money shit after this. I want to hear him cook this food too. And Lisa Bell's Aaron Parker. Lisa Bell's a hypey. Conshani says Boots 36 fights in and has barely fought anyone. Facts. The biggest name is Stanionis, who fucking sat on the show for like 2 goddamn years waiting for goddamn Virgil Ortiz goddamn ass. He says the business has failed him. Yeah, no, Boots has failed his own goddamn self. Didn't Boots do an undercard on the Carissa Shields fight at one point? Like, how do you see all this talent just waste away? Says it was an IBF belt, says, and it was one of them Reggie belts, bro. In this fight, a belt? That's what I'm saying, man. F seeing people with belts. Like, to be honest, even my favorite fighters, even with Lennox Lewis being my favorite fighter of all time, even watching Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, nobody give a fuck about them goddamn belts. Floyd was probably the last guy to make even a WBC of value because Floyd always highlighted that green belt. And a lot of fans used to always, even parade. They didn't own the belt. They would parade around about the WBC belt, the green belt. And always talk. That's why I disrespect that little dumb fat motherfucker Mauricio Suleiman and shit. Because he a piece of shit. And I knew he don't represent these damn fighters. Them belts don't mean shit. Because these fighters don't represent. Floyd was a good representative of that sanction. But the sanctions is pointless. Like, how the fuck? This is the other dumb thing for people who don't really follow boxing. Is the fact to be a champion, you got to pay for these worthless ass fucking belts. So you go in, and this is why so many fighters are fucking poor. Boxing is one of the only sports where the motherfucking athlete is paying motherfuckers. You pay the promoter. So how the fuck you paying back the promoter? Promoter getting paid. He done put on the fight. He the one supposed to pay you, but he get a percentage of your shit too. Your manager get a percentage of your shit. And some people got multiple managers like dumbasses. And then you got to pay your damn trainers. And then you got to pay your damn taxes. This is one of the only sports. Can you imagine your favorite goddamn NBA player got to pay back his team, got to pay the NBA to hold the damn title, to win conferences, They ain't gotta pay their damn managers. They all end up with sports agents. Sports agents help them to get top dollar and shit. So they just take a chunk out of them, but they ain't taking a chunk out of every goddamn fucking fighting season they get. Like, this shit is bullshit with the way this damn sport is structured. And this is why so many of these dudes end up going poor, flat fucking broke. On top of them being, some of them being halfway retarded. I mean, you get hit in the head enough, you probably gonna end up stupid. And then Boxer Sparring says H Money is funny. Says a funny ass dude. Says I remember he pulled that tool out on 78. Says during barbershop conversation live. Yeah, I remember 78 threatening to shoot that nigga because H Money's had these fools scared of him, man. Lisa Bell says Kyle Shardy says Lisa Bells, and they said Aaron Parker saying salute. Velasquez said Lisa Bell says Narco Joseph Parker versus Fabio Warley next week. Says who you got. That shit probably gonna be trash too. Kyle says boxing is in the toilet, man. That shit straight up in the toilet. That shit down the pipes of the damn toilet. That shit already down the pipes, going down through the street, ready to hit where the rest of the pile of this shit all collects. That's where boxing at. Like, this motherfucker Jaron Ennis and dumped it. I don't see how anybody hyped about that shit. I ain't give a fuck who we call out. Hell, he can call out me. That shit don't mean shit. Salute, Cuzzo. Like, this shit is bullshit, man. Hey, I can't wait for the football game tomorrow. These fucking weak ass dudes. And then Mars says boxing clown says what up with you, and then he says and then how you say that name, says Yuba Fly says y'all just hating, says boost the most promising 40-year-old prospect in the game. He gonna be about 40 and he's still gonna be a prospect for real. He even hold belts and he's still a prospect. Like, this dude didn't accomplish shit. He moved up to 147, didn't fight these dudes, and now all of a sudden he out of it. He done went in there. He went in there where people thought he was supposed to dominate. Went in there with that Ukrainian motherfucker who he struggled with twice. Got embarrassed off of that shit, and then he thought about shit. Do you want to fight these other dudes? Like, and he seemed like he feared that Brian Norman shit. I thought that shit was gonna happen. Kashani says Boots and his team says don't know how to direct his career either. They don't, man. It's like, what the fuck directions are y'all choosing? Do y'all have any objections to this idiot Eddie Hearn? Eddie Hearn, a tall motherfucker that ain't never done shit athletically. Like, why the fuck are y'all listening to this old suit wearing pansy? He ain't nothing but a silver spoon little punk who then fell into money because of what his father was able to do. Remember his dad talking about where he gave fighters slave contracts. Remember that ill shit Eddie Hearn dad said? When he was with Dillian White and them, and he was talking about where it was like weird for him to have to call boxers sir, and how they used to have the slave contract for fighters. And that's all in the same week he got the motherfuckers fighting on that plantation home of his. And you just see Dillian White retarded ass smile that shit off. And then he breathed this little pansy motherfucker like the rest of these old fucking pansies that got money through exploitation and doing a bunch of thievery from uneducated motherfuckers. And then they bring these old worthless sons of theirs in. And these worthless sons are supposed to help make you money while fuck you over, and they sitting back making money. That's why I hate when I see Eddie Hearn standing at fucking the weigh-in shit because he's taller than the other people and looking all tough and mean. That's why somebody fight here. I think Turkey banned Eddie Hearn from doing that shit. Like, get your hell ass off the stage, punk. Like, the nigga 7 feet tall, can't even fucking dunk and shit. Hi, feet Lisa Bells, good evening. I can't stand this motherfucker Eddie Hearn. Then when Eddie Hearn came out, remember he was disrespecting all the older promoters and this and that shit? And then these dummies hand this fool some money. The stupid ass DAZN. And Lisa Bell says Velocity Cut says Parker's. And then Behold in the building, salute to L File player. And then Boxer Sparring says, I want Eddie says to put on Deontay Wilder versus Marcellus, says for the undisputed 304 of the world. Man, nobody would even see Wilder, man. It'd be crazy seeing these dudes. You know, it's like you got to respect the heart of these dudes. Like, you respect the heart of the damn fighters. And even the ones who are past their damn prime and even shells of themselves who still want to get in there. But once again, the only reason why they want to get in there because that's all they fucking know. They don't know any goddamn thing else. These fools don't even know how to sit back and retire and enjoy life, man. And that's like, that's the travesty of a lot of this shit, man. That's the travesty of a lot of shit. People haven't even found the joys of fucking life, especially dudes who've achieved a lot and then, been rewarded financially from that shit, and they still crash out. That shit is trash. Like they showed a video the other day I saw where they saw. Have y'all seen that video of Adrian Broner? Hold on, let me find this shit. Somebody showed a video of Adrian Broner running. Hold on, let me find this shit for y'all. Let me see this shit. And they in there clowning this dude because this is how bad it has gotten for this dude. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Give me one second. Pull this shit up. Let me see. Hold on. Wait, did I spell his name right? Let me see. Adrian Broner. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. This fool running down the street. Hold on. 1 second. Which is really a minute. Oh, yeah, here you go. Running to the liquor store. That's what they call the video. They said Adrian Broner running to the liquor store. Hold on. He running down like Ohio Street. He running down the street somewhere in Ohio. Hold on. Damn, I thought I'll find it on... Thought I would find it here on Instagram. Let me see. I might have to go to YouTube. But they titled that shit, Adrian Broner running to the liquor store. Let me try something else. Hold on. Like, it's just sad looking at what these dudes, like, highly accomplished dudes who didn't take the sports serious, didn't put value on their shit, more than the showing off, being disrespectful, not realizing there's cutoffs to all this shit. And that's the thing with a lot of these younger fighters when they don't listen to these older trainers. You've always seen, and that's the fault of even the older cats that are around these dudes. The older cats who are around these dudes that pander to them and don't keep shit real. And then you watch these guys go through life and it ends so disastrously for them. And that was the thing, even with Adrian Broner disrespecting that trainer of his. Running to the liquor store. Hold on, let me find it. I think it should come up on YouTube. Here it go. I had saw it on Instagram. I don't know why I couldn't find it, but I found it on YouTube. This is the video they clowning. What the hell is this playing? Oh, hold on. Here we go. Let me see. Adrian Broner running to the liquor store. This is the video right here. Look at this shit.
Keep going.
Listen to this shit.
Go, Avery. I see you working. Keep going. Go, Avery. Keep going.
Look, he can barely move his legs and shit.
Go, Avery. I see.
Man, and he think he's still trying to, and AB still trying to get back in the ring to get fights to make money. Because he done fucked it off. Like, he the same dude going to stores, we don't keep the chains, throwing that shit. Disrespect Jay-Z and them promotional company, 50 million ain't shit. Disrespect Eddie Hearn, then he start running to him. Now he over there with Don King ass. And then Kashani says, but AB fought everybody, but AB stopped taking the sport serious. And therefore, we never fully got to see the full potential of where AB could have went. We never got to see the full potential where the fuck AB could have went with boxing. AB could have been brilliant. Had he had one of them old school motherfuckers that would have popped AB in the head with a stick, told his head, locked him in the fucking gym, like AB could have been brilliant. One of these old $100 million making motherfuckers. And because he got on that adolescent shit, arrogant shit, his ego out the motherfucking window, people kissing his ass, laughing at his jokes all the time, and the shit go to his head. Because when the motherfucker's just a dude known for doing bad shit, and that people turn to comical shit, you play into that shit. Konshardy says, and that's the thing, we gotta start letting motherfuckers play into that shit. Yeah, it's good for us to laugh, joke and shit, but know when to lock in it's game time. Turn that shit off. Konshardy says they clearly didn't have enough money, says to put together a viable card for this fight. Says it made BOK Prime look like HBO. And that was the other thing, low budget ass card. There's some Eddie Hearn shit. Midtown, Houston, Texas says boxer sparring and they're laughing at boxer sparring, calling that fucking debut. And then CJ in the building says that's passion. He's talking about my son out there tripping. That nigga was mad as fuck. That nigga was bad as fuck. But he did good. He had a good game. And guess what? I'll still amped up like I always be at these games. Hyping these kids up. Like I said, motherfuckers better not say shit to me. These guys, that's why I be like, man, that's why I be staying away from motherfuckers. Cause I be like, man, I know I ain't the one out here tripping. I don't be tripping, man. And then Hyphy says, so that means your son says he's hella serious about his craft. Says he's not there just to have fun. Says he's passionate. Man, this nigga sitting here doing shit. And there you go. And I'm like, man, homie, stay in the fucking game. Man, stop tripping, dude. It'd be like, then that nigga at one point would just look at the ball. He wasn't even gonna go for that shit. Like, man, you can't be doing that. Boxer Spar says Midtown, he laughing out loud. And then Mars says Lima wasn't sweet, says he's ranked number 10, says in the division, says, but this was a warm-up fight into 154 for Boots. Says it's only chance from here on out. Man, stop creating these bullshit ass excuses for Boots. This dude should have never been in the ring with Boots. That dude is not ranked no goddamn number 10. A top 10 fighter, a fighter ranked in the top 10 does not go in there and lose a fight in the first fucking round. A fighter at the number 10 spot does not go in there and don't know what to do after getting hurt. This fighter wasn't even doing shit. This fighter didn't know who he's in there with, how to handle himself. That dude was not no top 10 fighter. Like, hell no. It's one thing to get your ass whooped later in the fight. You don't go in a fight and get your ass whooped within 2 fucking minutes. That is not no top 10. And that's the problem within the sport and seeing the way this shit is ranked. Like, it's... And then CJ saying salute. And then Velocity Cuss says, hey, Cuss, does anyone in Vegas says, even though the Aces won the WNBA chip last night, yeah, lesbians, homosexual dudes, and girls who like girl basketball, that's about it. Nobody... I mean, they don't get celebrated like that. They got to lower the rims for more people to draw eyes to it. But salute to the Aces for winning that shit. Hopefully they get a parade. Says you taking Baby Owens to the victory parade next. Hell, dog, you taking him to that shit. He wasn't there. He'd be mad as fuck. I took him some shit like that. I wish my daughter would want to watch that shit, but my daughter here enough, she done broke her damn ankle and shit. And then Hyphy says in AAU ball says the best of the best kids says gets blew out. Says it happens. Says I see it every weekend. Yeah, my son wasn't taking that shit. He's still learning. He's still getting better at his shit. But he gonna definitely get there. Like I can see the potential in him, seeing him improving and shit. And like I told him, homie, it's not that serious. You don't take it to that point. You ain't getting paid for this shit. Don't be mad. There's still other players on your team that are developing, learning how to dribble, learning how to handle pressure. Because that's the one thing. You see kids panic when somebody's in their face, guard them and shit. And then now they freeze up. In practice, motherfuckers look good all damn day. Look good all day, doing all this shit. Now when they get people doing this shit and the heat is up, people in there watching them, now they worried about how people may be viewing them. People ain't really judging them. That now they can't find a teammate. And now they just looking around. So I keep telling you, you got to move around because certain things he got to work on. But he's definitely getting better. Definitely seeing improvements. And then Konshardy says that's because Dana White is a fan. Because Dana White is a fan of real boxing. Yeah, hopefully they tune this shit up and they don't give none of these weak ass fighters chances. Like I think Turkey said he ain't messing with nobody that ain't champions or top 5. Not their top 10. Matter of fact, he ain't basing this off of these whack ass sanctioning bodies top 10. They gonna have their own list of what's the damn top 10. That's what I'm talking about. That's the way Al Heyman, because Turkey is really using the Al Heyman game plan. But Al Heyman didn't regulate that shit. Al Heyman should have shut all that damn bullshit out with the belts and shit, and put on the fights that he knew fans wanted. And if the fighters didn't want to fight, you shouldn't pay them motherfuckers. I mean, it's down there like they was on the shelf anyway. They fight once a damn year. Velasquez, his Top Rank says on a ventilator right now. Man, that shit already dead. Man, Bob Arum gonna live longer than Top Rank. And then Lisa Bell says, I guess you don't know Warren's history. Says they're all what is that, a snake? Is that a snake? But Frank Warren was putting on better shit. What he got? He got Usyk, right? He got the boys. Who else he had? He was putting on the good heavyweights and shit. He had my boy China Bang Zhang. He had Zhang in there, and I mean he's putting on some good fights and shit. And then Yuba, I can't say your name. Yuba Fly says Dana runs UFC, says like a plantation, and has no respect for the fans. Says don't fall for it. Says he is not the answer. Man, he the answer more to these other fools. Turkey's really the answer. But Turkey is just trying to go off of the playing within the guidelines of the what's that shit called, that Ali Act. He's trying to stay within the guides of the Ali Act. And like I said, all Turkey is doing is taking a playbook out of Al Heyman's playbook and just perfecting. It's no different than Mark Zuckerberg doing this, taking the game plan from Tom from MySpace. That's all that shit. That's the only reason why he found success. He just took the game plan from Tom from Facebook, from MySpace, and he perfected how to operate the social media shit in a different manner. And then he done lined himself with these political punks, like that whole ass president, old pedophile motherfucking punk Trump. And of course I got to throw Trump in that shit because he a hoe, just like Eddie Hearn and this whole ass fight that came on tonight. And then just a guy says I got my boots on the ground, says, where them fans at? And he says 402 stand up, says one love, says hit the like button, says Omaha, Nebraska. Salute to Omaha, man. Y'all got the damn world champ, man. It's unfortunate, even when you look at that, go back to Bob Arum hoe ass. When you look at goddamn Terrence Crawford, and people get I don't say Nebraska, he says Nebraska. And but when you look at the shortcomings of Terrence Crawford having like this storied boxing career, but he still made the most of it. When he moved up through divisions, he conquered all the titles in the division. Moved to 147, chasing after all these guys, because 147 was hot. 147 was a hot ass fucking division. And when he got there, none of the motherfuckers want to fight him. And when he got his fights, he stopped everybody at that damn division. Nobody wanted to fight him. They start turning into Pacquiao Mayweather and shit, drawing fights out and shit. You had fucking Keith Thurman, who just disappeared because he was afraid of Earl. You had Earl wanting to delay fighting this dude, doing this my side of the street shit. You had that what's the Puerto Rican fool? Danny Garcia, avoid the fool. Fucking AB AB probably would have fought Terrence, but I think AB was somewhere else. I don't know why they passed the lineup. You had Bob Arum wouldn't give Terrence Crawford the Pacquiao fight when he was promoting Pacquiao, screwed him over on that shit. Like he's just effing this dude career over, and then had so much ill shit to say about him. And I love the way Terrence ended that contract. And that's the one thing about Terrence. He stand up in a motherfucker. And I really respect him when he came out and said this shit about when he fucked around and had this baby on the side from his girl. Well, I don't know if that's his wife or not. But the fact he handled that shit like a real G-ass dude supposed to. On some player shit. Not hide this shit. He came back to his lady after hearing this girl pregnant. Said, man, the nigga done fucked up. I got one on the way. And shit, keep it like that. You ain't about to blow up on me. You ain't about to woo woo. I'm taking care of everything. Shit, and for a lot of women will accept that shit. She done got all her kids. She done got her family, a ton of kids. This nigga probably ain't gonna go nowhere. Everything's secure. You taking care of financially. He just got to take care of that responsibility. You may even have some women that they respect you so much as a man, they bring the other child in. Because some of the women have understanding and shit that you a man. You going to find shit out there that's attractive and you going to fuck it. And you slip up and knock it up. Shit. But if you secure and shit, your bra can't say shit. But you don't go out like that whole ass boxer Felix Verdejo after he knocked a chick up he'd have known throughout his life and then kill her and shit. Like, so I got major respect for Terrence for that shit. And the way he handled that shit with Bob Arum going on national TV disrespecting this dude. That dude ain't come out and make one statement. I'm going to fulfill this contract. I'm going to get the last laugh in the end. Because now when I go in here and whoop this last motherfucker, which I think it was Sean Porter, and he told Brian, he looked on the stage while they sitting there, he looked over at Bob Arum with the microphone in his hand like he motherfucking rock him and shit. He said, man, it's the last of my contract. You couldn't do nothing for my career. You couldn't give me the fights I wanted. I'm out of here. And then as soon as he leave, this motherfucker done blew up. Done whooped Canelo ass, destroyed Earl. I mean, this dude done his thing. Sky's the limit. But it happens at the end of this shit. And that's unfortunate. Lisa Bell says, just a guy, says one love. And then he's saying one love back to Lisa Bell's. Velocity cuts in the wrong box of sparring says debut / debut. Tomato. No, ain't no tomato, goddammit. That motherfucker said debut. And then JJ says, I don't know how you got in my algorithm, says, but yeah, it says Boots and Goofy says and be hating on Bud. Man, he can't say shit to Bud. He can't say a goddamn thing to Bud. He done fought, what's this dude named? Usama Lima. Like fucking a nigga from Angola named Lima. What the fuck you get a name like that from? Same Brazil? And then Dave 169 says because I was tripping when I did watch a video of Lima and I seen him in the damn boxing gym and all his trainers look like somebody out of Eddie Hearn family and shit. Like, where the fuck this fool find these damn fools? This fool ain't got, I don't even think Lima talk English or where the fuck he talk. And the Dave 169 says they don't want it, Fendor. It says Fendor says will beat the fuck out of Ennis. I mean, I want to see that fight. Man, I don't even really give a damn for Ennis anymore. I really don't give a damn for Ennis. Ennis need to announce some shit that's worthwhile, like seeing him fight. But Jamel Charlo ain't it. Hearing him call out Jamel Charlo is bullshit. Lasica says, David says, not David. He says Brian Norman Jr. says turn the fight down. Says with Boots says the fight Derek Chavez or however you say Cuevas. Says on a Sandy Ryan undercard. Says the fuck you talking about? Man, hell no. Nah. Yeah, he took that fight, but after that, Boots supposed to fight the motherfucker. And then he says why he ain't call out Fendor. Oh, Fendor hurt though. Fendor hurt. That's why Fendor. But then that's the other shit. Why the fuck is Fendor? But Fendor no fucking different. Why the fuck is he fighting goddamn sorry ass Keith Thurman? Why the fuck is? Hold on. Let's go into that shit. Let's go into like Fendor no fucking different. All these fools is full of shit. And then how much they wanted for that? Then that shit on pay-per-view. What is that shit? 50? I mean, no. That's a low ball for what they be wanting. What was that shit? That shit was something like what was that shit? Like $80 they wanted for that shit. So let's go into this dumb shit. This Keith Thurman. How the fuck Keith Thurman get announced? And then this sorry ass sanctioning body is allowing that shit. And who's the sorry ass sanctioning body? That dumb motherfucker Mauricio Sulaiman, who allowed Keith Thurman. How the fuck Keith Thurman is in there? Keith Thurman loses to Manny Pacquiao back in 2019. He take all these goddamn years off. He go in here and fight Marios Barrios, who I think, how was that fight went? Yeah, I think maybe he did kick Barrios' ass. Barrios is just a dude who like to get his ass kicked by old ass fucking fighters, which makes no sense. Takes away even, that's the best opponent Tank got on this record is Mario Barrios. So he loses to Pacquiao, old ass Pacquiao, back in 2019. He doesn't come back in the ring until February 2022. Then he takes 3 fucking years off. 3 years off to fight some dude named Brock Jarvis. And you know Brock Jarvis probably been fighting trash. Look at this fucking dude. Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger face looking motherfucker. So Keith Thurman fight this dude, and we go through looking at people record. When you viewing boxing, never look at this. Never look at these numbers, because in boxing and with these trash ass promoter sanctioning bodies, they love to hype people on these numbers. Coming to the ring is 23 wins, 21 by way of knockout, 2 defeats. And of course, he get his whole ass knocked out twice. But you look into his record. Look at all these 6-round fights. Look. All these 6-round fights. Then he moves into a 10-rounder against a motherfucker with only 8 fucking fights. Then he moves into a 10-rounder with a dude with only 9 fucking fights. Then he moves to a guy on a debut goddamn fight going into a 6 fucking rounder. And then he goes into another 8-rounder with a dude with 30-some fights. He got 11 losses. Bunch of losses here. 10-rounder with dudes with no experience. No experience. This is who Keith Thurman get in the ring with. Then this dude fight Liam Paul. Paul knocks his ass out in the first fucking round. Liam Paul, wait. From what I remember, Liam Paul, the one who think he got that win over Sabril Matias. But Liam Paul ain't got no knockout power. Hold on. Let's check this one out. Is this the dude? Wait, let me see. Is this the Liam Paul that fought Sabril? Yeah, this is the dude that fought Sabril. He was just moving on him. But this dude ain't noted for no damn power and shit. But he went in here, and I remember, I love when he whooped Montana Love ass. Oh, I love that fight. He kicked Montana Love whole ass. But then, so he knocks this motherfucker out in the first goddamn round. And let me see. So he loses Liam Paul in the first round, get his ass kicked. Then he goes down. So look, first step up, he gets his ass whooped. Then this dude goes into back in the 8-round fights, 6-round fights to build his confidence. He get in a 6-round fight with a dude with 10 losses, only 13 wins. Then he go in a 10-round fight against Keith Thurman, gets his ass whooped in 3 rounds. And he goes in here, look, and then after he loses to Keith Thurman, they give him another fight against a motherfucker with 7 fights. Like, get the fuck out. So Keith Thurman gets bumped up to fighting goddamn Fortuna. This shit don't make no goddamn sense with this boxing shit. You gotta watch what they present to you. You have to watch that shit. So I think it's important with what Turkey and Dana White are going to fucking present to boxing. Is they going to eliminate this type of shit popping off in boxing? That a motherfucker like Keith Thurman, who is a motherfucker that should be just doing commentating and should be retired, that he getting his opportunity against this tall ass motherfucking Fendura, and they putting that shit on. Al Heyman and them ought to be ashamed of themselves for that shit. That shit is despicable. And I'll be finding it hard to even want to talk down on Al Heyman and them. But that shit makes no goddamn sense. That Keith Thurman get an opportunity. Keith Thurman, no dude ain't really got many names on his. No, I'll take that back. He just should have had Earl Spence and possibly Terrence Crawford. He faked a car accident and nobody ever seen footage of that shit. Nobody ever seen the car that was wrecked, and he claiming all this elbow injury shit. Nigga probably crashed one of them old Power Wheel cars. And then Velocity Cuss says, Brian Norman Jr. says is the next James Kirkland. And then, I don't know how good Brian Norman is. I know he got the knockouts, but I want to see what he does against Dev. And we know he can punch. He got the power, but you got to have more than just punching power. And then Asian Math says, salute Asian Math. Jay says, 172 says, gotta be a typo, says, cuz what the fuck? And then he says, Box Sparring says, it was the IBF belt, says, and it was one of them Reggie belts. Asian Math says, Keith Thurman's still fighting Fendura. They postponed that shit. They need to ban that shit. Let alone let him claim an injury. That fight ought to be banned. That shit should definitely be banned. Need to trash that shit. I'm going to get ready to get out of here, too. I want to start on my try to make a cheese. I want to see how this shit come out. And then Dave 169 says Ennis should have fought Haney at 140. Yeah, that fight should have happened too. But then again, I'd see why that wouldn't happen because I think Devin was going that shit hoping to fight Ryan and shit. Puerto Rico Rum says, what do you think of the Ring Magazine belt? Make that the only belt that exists. Make that the only belt that exists. All them other belts and shit that Mauricio and these other garbage ass sanctioning bodies who never regulated the sport. They got all these other belts. You remember when Mauricio pulls out this fucking franchise shit out his fucking ass to protect Canelo and protect like that shit. Don't that shit piss you the fuck off? That's why I don't be talking this boxing shit. I don't listen to none of these other boxing channels like that, except the few that I fuck with who ain't just talking the same old shit. That fucking this stupid motherfucking Mauricio on top of all the different levels they do to just nickel and dime the fuck out of these dumbass boxers and their teams. You got the main belt, then it's a belt below that, then a belt below that. None of these belts line you up to become a mandatory, because when you're supposed to be the mandatory, all you got to do is put $5 in Mauricio greedy ass pocket and give him a goddamn burger. He will let you skip your mandatory. So then he present this shit to protect Canelo from fighters and to protect what was that other fool? Then what's the Ukrainian dude? They were calling the Matrix and all that shit. He the best guy since Ali, that Bob Arum hold ass talking about. Tank was scared of this motherfucker. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What's the dude Tank, the white dude Tank was scared of? And that's when he started flipping out on Floyd, and Floyd's gonna make, Lomachenko. He created the franchise belts to where these dudes was a franchise belt to where you don't have to fight your mandatories. I think you kept the belt. It was some stupid ass shit for a franchise belt. You can pick whoever you wanted to fight or some dumb ass shit. And then them fighters get their ass whooped. And then no other fight, the belt then transferred to other fighters. They were great ambassadors. Canelo the drug cheated like a motherfucker. He got that shit on his resume. But he the ambassador to your damn org. Like, get the fuck out of here. Lomachenko, because you thought he represented white identity in the sport. Like, Mauricio just, all of them effed up the sport. They all got multiple layers of champions inside the division. The silver, the gold, and the bronze, and then the champion. The fuck out of it. Man, yeah, the ring belt should only be the only one. Like, when you look at the disgusting shit they presented with boxing, I see why so many people have left boxing. So many fans have left fucking boxing. Because when you truly look at it, like fans like a lot of us are, and you see all the fucking corrupt BS that's in it, and there's no real structure to it, that's all boxing needs. And boxing can turn around over fucking night. And it would turn overnight with the shit that they got going on. And maybe there shouldn't be that many people in the sport. I think with what not Eddie Hearn, but Dana White has showed over with the UFC shit. But then you don't want to have the sports monopolized, because that becomes a problem when there's just one guy running everything. Because there's issues within the UFC as well. The UFC as people look at it, should be fighting those other organizations. It's the same thing within boxing. A lot of promoters should have been working with each other and finding the other organizations. But I think for the time being, for the next decade, that boxing should be under one umbrella. And then maybe other people get in there who go about doing the right thing. But I think it should be housed under one umbrella when they isolate people who ain't gonna be about shit. And then there ain't no way that no damn Keith Thurman should be fighting for a title that damn Fedora holds. And then Fresh BX says, yes, Brian Over Jr. says rather fight a dude in Japan. Says when he turned down the main event unification opportunity versus Boots. Said there was a reason. Says there was a reason for that. Says you Says you falling for his pops narratives and his spending. I don't listen to his pops. I don't watch interviews with his pops. I don't watch interviews with Devin pops. I don't buy into none of that shit. They say repeat the same shit we've always heard. I don't waste my time listening to them go back and forth. So I don't fall in that category, Fresh BX, at all. That narrative, that shit that the pops talks works for other people. I didn't laugh enough at them going back and forth. Now it just becomes the same regurgitated, recycled bullshit. I don't listen to Brian Norman them talk. They say the same thing. They funny. They believe in their kids as they should. Same thing with Bill Haney. I've been hearing Bill Haney shit for the last 10 years and shit. So no, I don't watch that shit. When they go on channels, I don't watch them. It's the same old shit. I just want to watch when their kids fight. Simple as that. And then in the Velocity Cuss, I'm not like these other boxing channels. I'm a nigga with boxing my channel. You rarely hear me do anything on boxing because I can cover everything. I'm well versed because I'm interested in so much shit. Like, I don't sit here and talk about 1 and 2 boxes. I rarely talk about these motherfuckers. They ain't fighting for shit. Velocity, and then you watch this bullshit tonight. Like, come on, man. Velocity says Cameron Duncan says used to manage Boots, says, but he passed away recently, says from cancer. Says so Boots moving solo. My cousin Deuce time in the building. And then Lisa Bell says Puerto Rican rum, King Asian Math. Asian Math says Pacquiao called out Romero. And that's another, and that bullshit is sad too. Here you got this old big box head motherfucker Pacquiao still fighting. And then he want to fight Rolly. I mean, it's crazy to see how things turn for Rolly. And now he getting his opportunities after kicking Ryan Garcia ass. And man, Pacquiao just turned out to be a fucking idiot. It's just crazy to watch people who have had classic careers and to see that shit really didn't mean anything. That shit didn't really mean anything. These dudes still going out here watching. And legacy, it's almost crazy. Do legacy even really mean anything to these motherfuckers? Or it's just a word these dudes play with. They throw it out there and hope the shit stick. And then they just diminish who the fuck they are. The fuck is Pacquiao still doing fighting and fighting these kind of dudes? But then it goes off to a thing with a lot of these athletes who've been doing this shit since they don't know nothing fucking else. But I think Pacquiao shit might be some money shit because I guarantee Bob Arum was underpaying Pacquiao. There's no way Pacquiao didn't earn $100 million out of the fights he had. Bob Arum was underpaying this dude Pacquiao for one of the poorest countries on this planet in the Philippines. The Philippines is a very poor ass nation, a very corrupt nation. So you best believe he was not watching his money, have no understanding of the American dollar, and ain't no telling what currency Bob Arum paid that motherfucker in. That's the sad part. And then Velasquez says Prophet BX. And then Lisa Bell says Deuce Times Peace. And then Don Dada says says is that Ali or that says all of boxing's best is all says it's all a facade. All of boxing's best is all a facade. Yeah, a lot of shit is a facade. It's all a bunch of fronted ass bullshit. Yasir says salute says you watch Boots you watch Boo Boo 2.0 says I mean Boots fight. Man, yeah, bro. That shit was despicable. That this weak ass dude went in there and lasted a minute and 50 something seconds, man. What is that all of one? How do you count that shit up? What is 150? About 130 seconds, man. And then KP from KC in the building salute says Boost stay beating up niggas says that war fake Tim says our lugs, man. For real, man. He fighting them old donations, them old feed the children ass motherfuckers where you donate your thrown away ass clothes and shit. The niggas who come from countries, the Salvation Army delivers shit over there, just dump it in buckets and shit. Lisa Bell says Fresh BX. And then Boxer Sparring says Barry Hearn says I used to own slaves, says now I gotta call you sir. Says that shit was crazy. And Dylan White says didn't say shit. Because Dylan White's a fucking big ass idiot. It's one thing where you see some people who are physically strong, but then they just stupid as fuck up here. And then you see the motherfucker who controls these motherfuckers be some motherfucker way down here. This motherfucker this big, and this motherfucker who can tell him what the fuck to do, pull every little puppet string on his ass is this fucking tiny. Like that shit is crazy. He just sat there and laughed that shit off. He's too dumb to even know what the fuck a slave was. And not knowing it was him. That's why he fought on a fucking backyard. And then Jump Tube says they going up to the weakest sanctioning body. Says WBA says to fight Bob. What is that? Baba says are some shit. And the Fresh BX says Lisa Bell's velocity cuts. Conshardy says paying for belts and says in sanctioning fees says across multiple sanctioning bodies is a grip. Says that I can't even fathom. Says it makes no sense to even prop this shit up at all. For real. They are all these tiers of paying fees and sanctioning fees to go buy a belt. That's why so many of these niggas buy chains and shit. Like this, man. And I don't know how that shit is even allowed, but I guess in corrupt ass America, everything's about the mighty old dollar. If a motherfucker's stupid enough, take it from him. And Elisa Bell says, Yasir says, salute. KC says, Broner done, man. Says, just be a manager at Lowe's, bro. Yeah, he might as well go get a regular job. Regular job, man. It's sad that to see AB go out like that from touching all the M's he has touched and just see he probably having to live with family and shit or live with some friends or somebody he took care of. The money is definitely gone. You fucked around, want to be about having the bitches and knocking them up. Now they taking child support coming out his ass. Like that shit is a crazy disaster. And AB has a lot of maturity to fucking go through. He has to really fucking go about fixing himself. But the one thing that'll resurrect AB, if AB, once AB clean himself up, because he definitely a narcotics user and an alcoholic, once he cleans himself up and maybe get with a great biographer, like when he's serious about shit, because you don't want him to run into money, he got to go through like some Allen Iverson kind of breakthrough and shit. And ready to fully tell his story, have somebody write a story, maybe a book, best-selling book, a book that a lot of people are definitely going to read around the sports world. But it's unfortunate to watch him go out like that. Putting the shit that happened at the Cameron shit, the shit that happened on the Dazen project. Because that was the first time we seen AB really embarrass the fuck out of himself when he was on the Dazen project. The dude be having Charleston White always on the show. And remember the show when that girl Brittany Renner was there and they're about to let Charleston White hit it on the show? Man, I would have smashed if I was Charleston White. I would have unzipped my shit and slid that shit. Man, that little pretty ass chick. Blasi Cuss says, remember when Ward Chisora says, flip the press conference table over, says, and Eddie Dan there pissed himself. Yeah, I remember that shit when Chisora is a motherfucker who, once again, Chisora, another one of these motherfuckers that should be well gone away from the sport. They keep throwing him in the goddamn ring because that's what they do over there is they have people can lose 1,000 fights continuously fighting. And then the retarded fans be cheering on these fools. Chisora is a dude should have been fucking hung it up. But that's all he knows is that boxing shit. But I think Chisora got businesses that run. I think he owns big-ass ranches, and he may have some ownership with that Five Guys shit. But another dude should be going. But I remember he had that press conference. He was punking the fuck out of somebody. Was it Shakur? It was some smaller fighter that they try to put at the as the main event for a fight. Chisora was going off on that fool at the press conference. He tried to talk back. Chisora like told him some shit like, "No, you better shut your little ass up." I forgot what fight. I think that was Shakur. And Yasura says hello to Lisa Bills. And then Kashondri says, "Oh, was it Regis? Maybe it was. It was Regis he was talking to. Maybe that's who it was." Kashondri says, I thought it was more of one of them shit talking dudes. Says Regis stood his ground. Man, Chisora would have crushed Regis, bro. And then Kashondri says, quick look up on says on belt cards. World titles, $3,000, says including championship belts and shipping. Says intercontinental titles, says $2,000. Man, I wouldn't pay none of that shit. Says for starter belts. No, it's more than that. That the titles is a percentage. Oh, maybe that's how much it costs for them to make the. I don't know what that shit is, but I think they take percentage because that's why I was hearing they used to get like 3% out of the damn purse or the like whatever it was the fight purse and shit. Like, I wasn't giving them shit. And then I'll be one of the fighters that will whoop the champion ass and he can have his belt because I ain't giving it to no funky ass sanctioning body. Kashandi says there are many, or you meant way too many instead of there are many fucking belts too. And then Lisa Bell says jump two, peace. And then Lisa Bell said hit that thumbs up, folks. So y'all can hit one of them buttons, thumbs up or thumbs down. And then the Kashandi says, according to WBC guidelines, says the first sanctioning fees for any title fight says comes from the promoter. Says the promoters have to pay an annual registration fee, says which is in the range of $7,000. And that's some bullshit. Like, it's like, what the hell are y'all here for? Like, you shouldn't be paying the sanction body a goddamn thing. People come to watch the fights, not look at no fucking 10 seconds of a belt being wrapped around them. Like Dana White got a belt for the UFC, that shit free. Dana White paid for that shit. Promoters should pay for the belts. That's how boxing should go. Promoter pay for the belt, present that shit, get the belt designed, and then get the sanction bodies the fuck up out of here. And then Kashani says, furthermore, for every fight, they have to pay between $5,000 to $25,000. Says this depends on the type of title and weight category. And then Puerto Rican Rum says, so Lisa Bells. And then Jump 2 says, yo, Lisa says, what up? What's happening? He says, Lisa, what's happening? And then Lisa Bell's KC. Kashani said, let's hold off on the comments. I'm ready to get up off of this mug. Kashani said, but y'all know I like to read my comments. He says, Kashani says, as for the boxers themselves, says they have to pay 3% of all their fights earnings, says including pay-per-view earnings, broadcasts, and any other modes of earning. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Says, and this includes earnings not only by the fighters, but by anyone who receives money on his behalf. Says, furthermore, for gross earnings up to $100,000, a minimum of $3,000 is to be paid by the champion. Jump Two's laughing out loud. Says, "Whoa." Said Lisa Bell says, "Chilling, you too." I mean, Jump Two. Conchandri says, and 10,000 by the challenger. Says for vacant belts, both pay 2,000. And there shouldn't even be a thing with like the vacant belt thing needs to be redone and shit. The vacant belt, like a top tier promoter just bribes a fucking sanctioning body. Now they fighter going in there and can get the damn title against some old cherry picked ass opponent. And then Jump Two said they just walk in gyms and find somebody in there doing cardio workouts and cut up and say, yeah, hey, I got to fight for you. And these fools jump in the ring, don't even know how they hands is like 2 left feet and shit. John Two says, I bet he's still doing some miles though. What you talking about, AB? He walking them motherfuckers. Cause you can tell he walking like he barely can get extension on his legs and shit. He got aching joints. And then he just ain't in boxing shape anymore. Maybe his weight can help him, I guess. You know, having weight sometimes is good. It can absorb shit, help give you advantages on shit, but you ain't gonna last for shit. But like because in there rolling, and he need cardio. Like AB just wasted his weight. That's where AB problems came in. He started ballooning, not having that discipline for the weights, and start having to go up to larger divisions and shit. And he didn't take no power with him. And then Martinez says boxing is all he knows. Says if he was reliable and sober, says he would be a great commentator. Yeah, AB will be amazing at commentary. But AB will be sitting at fight events, getting liquor glasses passed to him, and he'll be drunk throughout the damn fight event. And then saying some old ignorant shit. Then some bad broad to come walk by, he won't know how to handle himself. This nigga act like he never had pussy before. And then that's what AB got to just find growth, homie. And Lisa Bell says, I never thought he was all that. No, AB was good, but man, he was always on that chasing Floyd and wanting to be like Floyd. He got a sorry ass dad would sit in the ring and brush his funky ass head. I would have cracked that nigga on top of his head. I wish my son would ever ask me some shit on some national fucking TV. Say, Dad, brush my head. Nigga, what the fuck? That's why it's important to whoop your kid's ass when they young and shit. They do out of line shit, you whoop they motherfucking ass. And I learned that shit from when my dad, the only time I ever whooped my ass was for some out of line shit I said. AB gonna talk about brush my hair, and his stupid ass dad sat there and put the brush on his waves. You get the fuck out of here. I'd have kicked that nigga while he took that knee. I'd kicked him in his ass on national TV. I'm with that old school shit. And then I like to clown around, so I know how to be balanced with that shit. Be cool, joke with him, but you ain't never about to say no hoe ass shit. And then says he definitely knows boxing, says, and is entertaining. And then Fresh BX says Velasquez says, we cashed out on says on Guido tonight, says -120, says tap back in, says after the live by tomorrow, says I might have a NFL play. Says I'm about to get in my bag, says I'm gonna be listening to the live. And then Lisa Bell saying to Mark saying peace. Velasquez says AB says got a glimpse of money, says Mayweather lifestyle and lost facts. Facts. Major fact right there. A major fact. Once you got a taste of the lifestyle, that's why it's even wrong for Floyd to even present that shit for a lot of these young dudes. Some of Floyd, the way Floyd handles shit, and that's the reason why when Floyd was pursuing Shakur Stevenson through the Olympics, and the Shakur, idolized Floyd, but Shakur being around his grandfather was street ass nigga anyway, he knew to keep Shakur away from that shit. He knew to keep Shakur. Even with when you get Jay Prince, who's a money having ass dude, but Jay Prince don't do all that flossy ass shit. Jay Prince grounded in his money. Jay Prince ain't gotta floss his money like that. Floyd does that shit, and a lot of them young fighters lose sight. Even when Floyd had the fucking the damn fighters fight at the Mayweather gym, then none of them fighters get in that gym and get around Floyd, and they thought they made it. Then you have all these bitches looking for a come up. And then these niggas start losing their focus. You start having all the Floyd fighters missing weight and shit, going to fights, getting knocked out when they get their opportunity to be showcased in a main event. Because that lifestyle threw a lot of them motherfuckers off. And he should have never been presenting that stupid ass shit. That's for your fucking enjoyment. A lot of young motherfuckers can't handle that shit. Fame is some of the worst shit for young dudes, man. And especially the money when they don't know how to handle that shit. And then Mark Dad says, what up to Lisa? That's one of the reasons I can respect even with Dion kids. Dion got these rich ass kids, and them motherfuckers still competing. Like even with Shador, still want to compete to be a name and a success in the damn NFL. Even the other kid. Like, man, them niggas could be like, fuck all that shit. Think I'm about to be floss. Shador's letting that little flossy and attention shit go to his head too. He was letting some of the attention from Colorado go to his head. And but as far as the money shit, them kids come from that shit. Mark Nash saying, what's up to you? Are you saying yep to Velocity Cuts? And then First BX, if Velocity Cuts says, I'm gonna post it in Reggie's comments, says if I do. And then Conshandri says if they unify, says that's 3% per belt. Says it's says so it can add up to 21%. I mean, sorry, it can add up to 12% if they are an undisputed champion. It says the sanctioned body says are an unnecessary grift, says who can't even justify their their existence don't mean shit. And these fighters, man, these promoters should have rejected that shit. Velocity Cut says the Fresh BX for sure. And then Mateo says Brock Jarvis says could have beat this guy, laugh out. And then Mardaz says agreed. Says literally everyone from the chat says could have did 45 seconds of says of art. You meant R less says what the fuck? Yeah, this dude a 10th ranked motherfucker and lasted fucking 100 seconds. They shouldn't even pay that motherfucker. You rank number 10, you should get fined. That should be the thing in boxing. If you and to make motherfuckers stay away from competing for the rankings and going up the championship level. If you lose a fight in the first fucking round, you take a heavy fucking penalty. Unless you just knocked out cold. Unless you get knocked out cold, then that's another damn thing. Unless you sat there and dropped your hands doing some ignorant shit, you get knocked out cold, you should still face a penalty. But if you're a motherfucker that went through training camp, got there now, so you're going to be fighting this motherfucker 3 months in advance, and you lose like this in the first round, you get penalized. You ain't getting all that money we promised you, because we don't know whether you took a dive or you did some old fake shit. And no, you ain't getting this shit. And he says we stayed up for that. Yeah, that fight, that shit had me pissed off, man. I was kind of pissed off when I found out this fool was from Angola being trained in Portugal and shit. I knew he wasn't serious about this shit. He wanted to fight, would have found some other place. And anything. Africans usually go to the damn UK. They don't go to motherfucking old oppressive ass Portugal. And then Hyphy says Jackie Young says balling in the playoffs. And then Lisa Bell says I think the ring top 10 and sanctioning bodies differ. And then Asian Math says Lubin lost to Charlo in the first round, says at 154. And then Mark Nash says Boots was a minus 3,000 favorite. That tells you everything you need to know about the opponent. Yeah, that is fucking ridiculous. That's how wide of a favorite he was for this fucking fight. And then Lisa Bell says facts to Mark. And then Paulo says that win was not impressive. Says Lima has 16 fights with no amateur background. Oh wow! Says all these Boots fans is acting like he just beat a high level elite boxer. Says who's undefeated for real. They should be knocking Boots' motherfucking head in for that shit. Jay says, hey bro, says I just subscribed. Says you accurate and funny, man. Appreciate the subscription, bro. Yeah, y'all hit that subscribe button too. Like, subscribe, dislike. Lysica says I'm surprised none of them the muff divers didn't spit in the WNBA commissioner's face. Oh wait, what the commissioner do? What did WNBA commissioner do? And then Velocity, I don't even know who the fuck the commissioner is. I would never thought of a commissioner for that shit. And then Velocity says EJ kept his word though. Says he was collecting belts. Says one by one. Says even went behind enemy lines to take Brooks shit. Man, that shit, man, he should have just fought that fool, man. Fuck all them belts, man. Velocity Cuss says EJ made that fight happen. Says not Al. Man, Al and them knew when that fool crashed that damn car, that shit. He wasn't gonna do no shit. They were trying to save him from embarrassing himself. And once again, it goes to not living them fucking lifestyles. Like you were seeing that shit with Earl. Earl being drunk at shit. Then he'll balloon up in weight. Earl in the best. Earl ain't even got to fight. Earl in such great ass fucking shape. Earl is in tip top fucking shape, bro. But wasn't doing that shit through his career. Drinking and all his crybaby fans. Man, people are making some shit. They just hating on Earl. Man, them people see that shit. There ain't no benefit to being a fucking drunk and shit. And you trying to be a fucking athlete. And then he getting a damn fast ass fucking car. And then going fast as fuck. It's one thing to just crash the fastest fucking car. But you flip this motherfucker. And you fly out that shit like. And you don't only fly out that shit, you fly out that shit like an ejection seat while the car going here and the ejection button get hit when the car facing the ground and you smack that shit. That dude lucky he didn't fucking die in that shit. And even though he didn't sustain no fucking, and then he remember, even that damn car accident fucked him off for making all that Pacquiao money. He had the Pacquiao fight. What was that shit? When did they cancel the Pacquiao fight? Like 2 weeks before it was supposed to happen. That's how you guys got the opportunity. Earl would have fucking made tremendous amount of money off of that shit. Or who knows how tough Pacquiao would have been for him. Boxer Sparring says Eddie pulled out Eddie pulled Lima out the plantation, bro. I wouldn't doubt that shit. I believe that shit. Portugal known for that shit. Especially come to them and some old black motherfuckers. That's why Brazil's so fucked up with that colorism shit. But Brazilians be like, fuck what Portugal talking about. We may talk the language, but we fuck with our folks. And if Velocity Cuss says we probably won't ever see Yusuma Limas again. Facts, we ain't. We ain't even seen him before this shit. We sure ain't gonna see him again. Cool Ass says there is no reason Boots should not be replacing Fedor. Says in 2 weeks. Says one round with a bum. Says come on, yeah. Boots should definitely have another fight before this year is over. And then Darren Collins says, cool ass says, facts. Yeah, Boots should definitely have another fight. Or they should have somebody contract signed tonight. Boxer Sparring says, did you see Keith says, once upon a time, Thurman called Fedor a bitch for pulling out the fight. Says after suffering an injury. Says, but didn't Keith pull out the fight against Tszyu? Says after suffering an injury as well. Yeah, Keith Thurman's such a hypocrite. Keith Thurman need that money. That's why he pissed off. He probably been pouring money into this training camp. And that's the other side of boxing. Is that you go through all this money you got to pay to go through a camp. Then get your check and got to pay everybody out of your shit. It's crazy as fuck. But shouldn't it be the promoters? The promoters will pay for your camp. And guess what? The promoter going to recoup that shit. I think that should be, when you sign a promoter should be a promoter should have to pay for everything. Without it being like some old loan shit. A promoter should not be able to recoup shit from you in the training camp. They should fucking have a budget for you that you don't pay back. Like, so that's the thing. That's the thing that hurts these dudes. Even when fighters get pulled from fights, they fail these drug tests, that a fighter went through all this hard, grueling ass training and don't earn nothing because something didn't happen. Boxer Sparring says, Velocity Cuss says, next time we see Lima, says it will be on Barry Hearn's plantation, says on the Netflix special. It'd be him trimming the damn hedges on that motherfucker. Lice Cuss says this is karma for Pee Wee Thurman. Says he should be fighting that Chechen nigga. Says Brockram says, but I won't let it I won't allow it. Says shaking my head. Man, Keith Thurman can fuck around. Like these dudes is idiots, man. When they get older and shit. Like, even though you can fight when you get older and shit, you shouldn't be out there trying to fight like that. Like, these fools are stupid, man. And then you waste people's time when you go in there and get your ass demolished and shit. And then TB says Lima was one of those fighters, says, who was very good. Says he just got outclassed tonight. Man, TB, you probably put money on that weak nigga. Yo, bad betting ass. He says he went into this fight, says he went into this fight beating 3 unbeaten fighters. Bro, I showed this bullshit you can't follow with boxing. That's the thing they present with boxing. He fought 3 undefeated fighters. Who the fuck they been fighting? Like, man, nobody gives a fuck. They be showing these wins and losses and selling you bullshit. And then TB's bite into that shit. Man, he beat up 3 unbeaten fighters. Who was these motherfuckers? Like, stop it, bro. Don't let these niggas dupe you, dude. And he says, Keith Duck Earl says, Keith Duck Earl Spence says he was afraid in the interview, says, with Fred. Yeah, man, remember, no, it was just one time when they brought them on stage together when Keith Thurman finally came back around and they brought Earl over to the table. Man, you seen that fear shit and Keith Thurman, I think Earl called him out for that shit and laughed at him. And then Velasquez says, and then you watch Keith Thurman fade away. You didn't see him again. It says, Facts Boxer says, we might see Lima on BOK Prime, says, with a wrinkle banner. Yeah, that wrinkle banner, BOK Prime shit. That shit that Blue Blood was part of. And the boxing sparring that Rollers, the boxing sparring says Loma. Oh yeah, it's telling me the name of that fool. I couldn't think of Loma name. And the cool ass says, I'm about to leave again. And then in the LaJessica in the building, what's up, LaJessica? She says, salute to myself in the chat, sending love. And then Lisa Bells of LaJessica says, what up to you, sis? She's saying, salute back to you. Boxer Sparring says, LaJessica, Lisa Bells, salute, chicas. And then Picasso in the building, salute my brother. Picasso says, Reggie covers everything, says, from the rooter to the tutor, facts. And then Picasso says, in boxing. And I rarely cover this boxing shit. These fucking funky ass fighters. And then LaJessica says, salute the box sparring. I would start doing the boxing like I used to do on them old channels. Go back and do classic fights. And then Beowulf Picasso says, Beowulf fought for legacy. Says he wanted to be remembered as the greatest warrior. Says greatest warrior. Says became king. Boy, it take Picasso to just write some old crazy ass comment from out of left field. Boxer Sparring says Ryan Garcia says is now doing commentary for Ring. Says the funny thing, he says right next to Shady McCoy. Says I bet LWC says be calling Shady McCoy a queen. Said be calling Shady a coon for that. Wait, when did Ryan do commentary? Was it today? And then Mike Saunders says Pacquiao says gives all his money to his community. Man, Pacquiao dumb as fuck. Yeah, he getting it back to them and shit. And he says Red Bottoms is about to fight Amir Khan. How the fuck is Amir Khan fighting? On what promotion? They gotta be doing some old hole in the wall gym type fighting. And then Medium Ugly in there roll it. And then Cool King says Boots has some cowboy colors on. Man, too bad he wasn't playing in the Cowboy Super Bowl. And then Anthony Jones says what's been good, cuz. Man, everything been all right. It's been good. And the Medium Ugly says Pinky in the brain, laugh out loud. Yeah, that's how them big motherfuckers be dumb as fuck, getting dominated mentally by some old tiny ass motherfucker. Little skinny motherfucker. That's how the dumb big niggas be. Just dumb. Go do some crash out shit. Go beat this nigga up for me. And then Picasso says boxing is a real fight. Says, but it's also entertainment. Says, and they are leaning towards making people want to see drama. Man, you ain't even getting drama in this shit. You just getting one-sided ass whoopings in this shit. Anthony Jones says, I just watched a Muay Thai versus MMA card. Says, with no tune-up. Says, my son's coach says, won, cuz. Oh, what was that on? He's talking about Regis, who Chisora was punking. Mr. C says the informal specter says people pay cash money. Says the watch Ennis put boots to he says people pay cash money to watch Ennis put boots to a bum, man, for real. Like watch him do some old, like he Mike Tyson today. Anthony Jones says Regis stood his ground. Says it was Regis. Says cuz before Josh Taylor. But for some reason Regis ain't registering with me with the person he checked. And Anthony Jones said, but it might have been Regis. Says obviously it might have been Regis though. Y'all talking about. Says Regis got Chisora got pieced up by Dave Haymaker. Oh, but Chisora was a nigga was always starting shit though. Yeah, I remember David Hayes. David Hayes had that fight. Who did he fight? And I thought he had a tough fight. That might have been which one, the Klitschko. I think he got hurt, but I thought he gave the Klitschko's a hell of a fight. He was an undersized heavyweight. And then JO5 says you so far behind in the comments. Yeah, I think I'm about to end this shit though. You ain't lying on this. Wait, no, I ain't too far away. No, I'm right there. I'm right there. Picasso says if the promoters pay for the belt, says they'll just take it out the contract with them. Yeah, but they should eliminate promoters being able to take the money from that shit. Promoters shouldn't be able to recoup money. They should have budgets to take care of everything. They're making money off the fighters. They should be able to. They should have to invest shit. And it makes no sense that it's almost like in boxing, promoters don't really invest shit. They make you some money, they make money off you, and then they take some money from you. JO5 says Boots will fight Virgil. Says our champion next. Says he just wanted to tune up for his first fight in the division. Man, he should have jumped in there and fought a champion. Picasso says they because his other fights been easy fights. What the fuck he need a tune up? He been whooping everybody fucking ass and he need a tune up. Picasso says they get people out of prison like old boy says why the hell you writing says that co-promotes with Oscar. He says AB was flamboyant, man. Yeah, they be flamboyant on motherfuckers in public. And then Zay Mula says, shut your hating ass up. Says, Boots up next, pussy. Zay, you a stupid motherfucker. You believe that dumb ass shit. You keep paying for this dumb shit he put on. You probably was a dumb motherfucker that brought a ticket to go see that shit. And then eBay fight prediction says, look at Jaron Love, says, couldn't handle the lifestyle as well. Yeah, that shit was crazy because Floyd was blowing Jaron. Jaron really making good money training Jake Paul. But when Floyd was like, man, he the next guy, because everybody was felling over in the fucking Mayweather gym. The broads coming in there, them fools couldn't handle that shit. Some dudes ain't never seen a bitch. The bitches thinking they could fuck these dudes, because they was viewing Mayweather gym. They like Mayweather definitely paying these dudes definitely millionaires. And some of the fighters have run that shit. I see these Mayweather fighters out in public, man, and these bad bitches right next to them, and I know they peeling this shit off. Going in that gym, nobody focusing that motherfucker. They get fights, missing weight by 8 pounds and shit. Showing off, looking good in the gym, teeing off on shit, showboating. That's why every sparring event in there is some old showcase to impress because they see bad bitches because they think that'll help them earn the fuck a bitch. And then that's why some of these dudes cry about these bitches. When these bitches look like, this nigga ain't shit but a bum. I'm about to go fuck the next one. These motherfuckers is stupid. And then don't focus. And then guess where you see them? You don't see none of these motherfuckers. It's like, man, they couldn't handle that shit. And then Jalon went in that fight against Porky Medina. Man, that knockout was so bad. That nigga mama even tried to jump in the ring. She couldn't believe that shit. But good thing he found a second coming to himself. And that's gearing up Jake Paul, who then took this shit to new financial heights with what he got going on. So, it's good to see Jalon Love making money in this sport. And then Zay says, dumbest shit I've ever heard. Says, look how many people got stopped in the first round. Wait, I'm lost on what you say, Zay Mula. I know you over here to kiss Boots ass, but get Boots out your motherfucking mouth. And then JD says, salute, bro. Dave Hill says it's time for you to do a video on that Bama barbershop Fred. Man, I done cook Fred so damn bad. Man, I feel bad for all the jokes I done did clowning Fred and ruining that nigga channel. Like, I feel bad. That's why y'all don't hear me clown people too much. Man, I need niggas with better jokes. And then I didn't like that my kids was like watching that shit. I do got a damn heart. I do like the joke because a nigga like to laugh and shit. But I feel bad when my jokes go a little bit too far and shit. I do got a heart. I'm a compassionate motherfucker, just like this comment say. Says Al gonna compensate him. Oh, they ain't say compassion. It says compensate somebody. And then compensate. You probably talking about Keith Thurman because of Fedora pulling out. 93 Octane says Lamont was paying for trainer camp says this entire time. And that's fucked up how Tank even did Lamont. Like I said, Lamont should sue the fuck out of Tank. And then Boxer Sparring says it's on the Ring Magazine channel Red, says on YouTube. Oh, with Ryan Garcia. And then he says Chisora says remind me of Kamala says Chisora remind me of Kamala says from back in the that fool wasn't. I know you're talking about the little African fool. His name was Kamala Harris and shit. Or what's his name? I thought his name was something else. JD says remember when Hayes won heavyweight belts says against Wall, says with legs, and Valuev was crazy. Says when he went against Wall, says with legs, and I'm lost on what that comment even you wrote, JD. And the double edged logic says the content is dead on. Says the content is dead on. Says I thought Eddie was disgusting talking that shit. Yeah, Eddie, I always hated Eddie. Eddie's been a piece of shit. That's why I used to almost want the zone to fail when they start putting all that trust into Eddie and talking all that other shit, and none of that shit worked out that Eddie promised them. Then they start pursuing fucking Oscar De La Hoya. Then they pursued Triple G going over there, and that shit didn't work out. The most they got out of it was Triple G and Canelo fighting. They never made anything out of a success with Triple G. But that shit was bullshit. But folks, that's all I got. I'll catch you on the next one. Somebody else got to be live. Somebody else live, but I'm going to watch some other people's post fights and shit. But that's all I got. May tune in to do some football tomorrow. Football been rocking. Salute to Colorado. They pulled off that victory. I was happy to see that shit. Seen Salters got the start, but Salters still makes some mistake. I ain't about to hype him up. Still thought he did some poo-poo ass shit. But good win. Because like I say, Colorado was better than what they records show. And Deion been pissing me off leaving that fool in the game. I'll be saying a lot of harsh shit about Deion over there coaching them because I'll be getting mad watching them lose when I know they should be winning and him trusting in this goddamn quarterback. This other thing I say about the Colorado game, about the victory, there was that pass interference in the end zone that when they had that interception, there was I'm 50-50 on that call if it should have been an interception, but the guy ended up tackling the receiver who was in the end zone, who had probably like 6 inches of height on the dude, big tight end who comes running down before he makes this little post route, pushes the defender. He's put his hands up to push him. Defender come down with him. They had threw a flag on that shit. Colorado defender intercepts that shit, runs a good 30 yards or some shit like that. They go to review the flag. The referees picked that shit up. So that was some questionable shit. And then the one touchdown that Amari, what is that fool name? Omar Miller that he scored where it was a broken coverage and it was a 70-something yard touchdown pass. But outside of that, I ain't see much of what fucking Caden Salters did. That fucking offensive coordinator trash. He almost got Omar Miller hurt doing some old stupid ass double reverse bullshit. That was dumb. He don't play to fucking blow teams out. The games are always close. But like other players did some great shit on that game. But like I say, the Colorado Buffaloes could be under fucking feeded. But folks, that's all I got. I'm out of here. Peace.